Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, Strafe Gal. So this is my second attempt at this. I had some hardware issues that screwed up my first video, but that should make this even more efficient. So as soon as I ended that last video, I was wandering around a little bit, and I remembered there's an invisible bridge here. It's super not obvious. It's not one of my favorite things in this game, and I totally forgot about it. It's a pretty easy little journey here. Last moon boss. This is gonna be Leviathan, which can be a bit of a rough fight, but should be pretty straightforward with the party we've got. Leviathan basically uses that one big move, and then after that he's not much of a threat. As long as you go in with good HP, he's not too bad. Especially at the level we're at and the equipment we have. So at this point we wait. It's a pretty easy process. Bunch of XP. And the adamant. It's the last spot. We did all 28 boss spots, or all 28 key item spots. We're going to do a quick dip into... You know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I was going to say we should grind a little, but I've already done this once. And I'm really not worried. I feel like we can take the boss from here. It is nearly impossible for Zeromus to kill our party. Famous last words. I showed off a little bit of the grind idea with the dragon eggs that you can fight. There's a few other spots where you can do it, and that give varying levels of XP. There's one spot on the moon that does 120,000 or 180,000 if you do the life glitch. Make sure you actually pick up your crystal. It's important. Actually gonna switch this to, well, You know what? We'll keep it. Oop. Should be about here. Yep. So normally you'd have to go back up to the moon to get to Zero Mess and walk all the way back through the lunar subterranean. Because of where we're at, because we have the pass specifically, we can actually go over here. Give this guy the pass. And we get a direct path to Zero Mess. Normally in the original game, this was like a place where it was like dancing girls or something. So I'm pretty sure you know exactly how this is going to go at this point. If you've been paying attention. We're going to berserkle our characters after using the crystal. But first, we have to figure out who we're fighting. The meme on the tournament is, whose butt are we going to kick? Once you've used the crystal, it enables the actual fight to start. And it chooses randomly from one of over 400 boss sprites. In this case, we have Cubimus, which is a play on the cute critter from what is that, Madoka Magica? So we'll get our berserks up. He's going to get his first big bang off here shortly. Oh crap, I forgot to throw the spoon. Oh well. That's fine. So yeah, our characters are doing significant damage to Zeromus. That's not good. Whoops. Apparently he counters Holy with weak. Who knew? That's why they use Reflect in the tournaments. Today I learned. That also means we're missing our Cure 3 is going to just bounce. We're going to Cure 4 everybody first. Hey, that means we get to throw the spoon. Always do healing before, or healing existing people before you try to resurrect people. Just as a general rule. Generally speaking, we try not, or I'm gonna try not to use, not to trigger Rosa's turns. Throw spoon. So that we are ready the second we see the next Big Bang trigger. We want to get that Cure 4 queued so that we can get it to hopefully go in between the Big Bang and the Meteor that's going to follow it. Because he does... Basically, those are going to be the three things we see this fight. And that second Big Bang is why we want to make sure we're high enough level. If that actually gets a kill, then it can, especially if your, high HP characters are all berserked, that can cause problems. This is why Rosa is the best white mage, why a lot of people don't like using Porum. Meteor has a chance to miss. So higher evasion characters it tends to do less against, but again, it can be that combination back to back of Big Bang and Meteor can be deadly. The other general strategy that you see with him is actually using a very mage-heavy party instead of the physical characters and doing reflected spells. There's one point where he does that little shake animation, and at that point he's actually refilling his health when he switches to a separate phase. But it's considered a counterattack, and counterattacks don't trigger off reflected spells. So if you reflect spells instead of using just direct attacks, he actually has less hit points. However, it's a lot more technical battle that way, and you have to find alternate ways for healing because you're using reflect. It's a rough. It looks like a much rougher fight. This is a much more automated, very straightforward fight. For a newbie like me. Run ended up a little over 4 hours, I believe, including deaths. It's gonna say less than that. The credits go on for a long time, but they were nice enough to put in the free enterprise stuff at the beginning. So, I had originally said I wasn't going to be doing these as a series. I was just going to do the demo. But I really want to play more of these, and I feel like there's a good chance that I'm going to end up doing some more videos of this in the future. You can see there I got all the key items. A lot of the runs that I see in the races, the better runners, they're generally getting key item checks at around 10. Because of the flag set we're using, this run, like, while my time was not good because of things like menuing and bad battle choices and bad routing, the real a good chunk of that time is also because of the fact that this was a really bad seed. The fact that you had to bounce around so much, like, most people don't check Yang until you get the pan. Most people don't make that trip. Most people wouldn't go way out of their way to follow that up with the twin harp early on. The checks that I did were not, like, I could see maybe doing the Yang check and then maybe pursuing that, but that it was such a convoluted series of events in there that took up a good chunk of time. I think I'll probably do some more of these. I enjoyed it a lot. I like the way that this plays out. I like the strategy element to it. A lot of different randomizers play out differently, or play out very differently on how they do things. Like the Zelda 1 randomizer, it basically comes down to a guessing game where the first thing you have to do is go through every single screen on the game looking for stuff. Like some of the other randomizers I've seen, like Super Metroid, are very dependent on glitches and like speedrunning knowledge. And some of the other ones, like the Mario randomizer, you basically are just playing the game in a different order, with some other minor changes. Overall, I feel like the Link to the Past randomizer does the best job of creating a situation where you have to use some kind of obscure knowledge of where those chests are and really creates its own game where it's routing and letting you make decisions and rewards you for that. This is up there with that, though. I like the way that this has very clear points that you have to check to get all the key items. I like the fact that it's basically a test of how well you can use the random characters and equipment you get to defeat the bosses as efficiently as possible. I think it's a really cool way to play a game that's not just the standard way. So yeah, I really like this randomizer. If you are interested in this, if you enjoyed this, obviously if you got to the 5th video, you enjoyed this, check out the website. It's in the description. They have a lot of good guides for beginners. I actually have some sections of those printed off. And I'm actually planning on using some of the materials they have there to make a better tracker for myself so that I can remember where all of the key item locations are, and actually to help with like tracking the HP values for each boss better. Also, if you enjoyed watching this and would like to see some people who actually know what they're doing, I did link to the Highway to the Zenith Zone tournament in all of these video descriptions as well. They're all good. I feel like the best commentary and the best runners are popping up at the end. By that point, they've got some of the kinks worked out with the tracker. They're working off a delay so that they've got so they've make sure everything's going well. It's really good. It's really entertaining. Just go to that link, and like I said, if you want to watch if you don't want to watch the whole thing, you just want to get an idea of it, scroll down to the very bottom and pick one of those semifinals matches that has 4 players going. Or they have a few that are only 3 people. One of those if you want to be able to see what's going on a little better. So yeah. like I said, there's a lot going on with this. I really enjoyed it. Probably do another one. Check out the other stuff here. I promise I'll actually be getting back to my regular games at some point, but this one's been eating at me since I've been watching a lot of the randomizer races, and I'm really glad I got to actually finish a race. So hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. I think we're literally like right at the end. Of course, I almost timed it perfectly. And as always, nope. There's like 2 more of these. As always, have a good one. We'll catch you next time.